Oh my god.
Welcome everybody to another episode.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. Maru ain't shit. He's just like
that's true. That is true.
Damn.
Oh man.
Are we live?
Oh man.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Man.
Oh damn.
Wait, let me
Gotcha.
Let me close my
So you're
dirty
fired.
websites.
So you're fired.
I'm fired. I quit like the third episode, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I don't even work here no more. I'm just moral support.
What's up, guys? Back here, another episode of The Filler. Every Thursday, as always, at 7 p.m. or around 7 p.m. You know, sometimes we're waiting for Nogi to finish taking a shower. But I digress. We have some
like horseshit. I'm sorry.
That's confirmed facts. We have some cool guests here. Some returning guests, and we have a first timer. Super excited. ROCKETBEAR's here. So yeah, today we're gonna be discussing Twitch affiliates, partners, the journey these amazing people have been through, and answer any questions that you guys have and have asked already on Twitter, to try to better develop your content and your journey while you stream and do stuff, either on Twitch, Facebook, wherever it is you stream. But yeah, my name is MARU. I've been taking a little bit of a break from streaming here, but of course couldn't stop the filler. Had to do this. Super excited for this episode, but I just want to introduce my co-host here, Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
The whole point of you knowing is so that you don't say shit. That's literally what I told you when
So
I
much
told
for
you.
the
You're
secret identity.
you're literally wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
This is Piers. This is not. Bro, check the spike. You suck entirely.
On your shirt, bud.
Like it's literally. What? You know what? But Doctor Strange doesn't have a secret identity. He's just walking around with a fucking medallion. And
yeah.
shut up. I don't want to talk to you. I gotta call my aunt.
Maru totally could cosplay Doctor Strange.
We know. We
Absolutely.
told him already. He just has yet to do it. That's one of his. No, we're not gonna do that.
You're gonna have to ask to borrow it though. Sorry.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
See?
This guy just
See?
came for he just went for the jugular.
Dude is ready.
You want this back then?
Oh
Oh,
damn.
God. Okay, we got the Avengers
Why
here.
is
I'm wearing it the whole episode now. I hope you know.
Yeah, it's like this. Got the pinky out and everything. Were you drinking tea or something?
I'm like
Dude, be
searching
chill,
for
be chill.
something
We got
nerdy here. I'm like, where's something nerdy? Do I have something nerdy in the song?
You're nerdy. You are all. That's all we need. We appreciate you. There
It's
we go.
true. I
Perfect.
am nerd.
We love BROFISH.
I'm like ready to go get the lightsaber. Like
I love the fisticuffs things that she did. I love that. That was amazing. As everybody knows, it's your boy Naru. I called myself Naru. That's gonna be a meme
Are you
now.
trying to like do a fusion of us?
Can we get you guys doing the little fusion dance?
Naru. Oh, God, I hate it here. It's your boy Nagi. Y'all already know the vibes. Here with some amazing guests. Most of them are returning, but as you all see very well, we got the thickums of the thickums. My guy here, ROCKETBEAR. ROCKETBEAR, introduce yourself to everybody. Let everybody know what's going on, who you are, what your channel is about, and if you have anything to talk about.
Sure. Thank you, man. Well, thank you so much, guys, for the warm welcome. I'm excited to be here and very honored that you asked me to be a part of the filler. It's super cool. Love what you're doing here. I'm ROCKETBEAR. You can catch me playing a heckin' lot of Destiny. It's my favorite game to play. I enjoy playing other games, Fall Guys, Destiny, a lot of Destiny. You can catch me live Mondays through Fridays, usually 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm kind of just all over the place right now with how I'm feeling about the game, but we'll talk about that later. Having a lot of fun building relationships in the Twitch community. That's basically who I am and what I do. What I want to talk about? Probably something to do with this group of people going forward into the game I may have just mentioned.
Got it. Next we have a returning favorite. Someone that holds a very, very, very special place in my heart, as well as a special place in my head, because there's an exit and an entry wound there. But that's a whole conversation that we're going to talk about. I don't want to discuss it because I still have nightmares. Anyway, BROFISH, please introduce yourself. Don't talk about what happened. Just let it die. Please let everybody know what you're about. Let everybody know what you got planned. Yeah, tell everybody who you are.
Well, firstly, in the words of House Greyjoy, what is dead may never die. Second of all, my name is BROFISH. I've been streaming now for 4.5 years. I streamed on Twitch for 2 years, then Mixer for 2.5 years, and now I'm back on Twitch. Recently, Twitch partner. I stream a lot of variety. I've been streaming a lot of Destiny, Final Fantasy 14. I've been trying to get into Fall Guys as well. But I enjoy like a wide variety of games. I'm really excited for Avengers coming out next Friday, which is super exciting. So like just anything that has loot and a grind, I'm all about it. So but I did get my start in the Destiny community and it's very much home for me. And yeah.
Awesome. Next we have my guy, the only man that has ever made me want to go bald. And I say that being called Morris Chestnut all of my life. I have no idea why. Don't ask me. That's personal. I don't see it. But I don't understand why he has that in his chat. It's so annoying.
People like it.
You do it slow. That's why
I'm an old man. I can't move my joints like that anymore, bro.
My knees pop when I
throw
walk.
something out if you dab. Like
It's anyway. Oh, there you go. Cough up a lung. My guy, I always get it. As long as we've been friends, I get your name wrong every time.
there's no wrong. That's the beauty of it.
Nearest,
whatever you want, man. The entire point of why I made my name the way I did is because the old name that I used to have, my DJ name, people fuck that up all the time. All the time. They could never get it right. And I needed to come up with a name that was just, it didn't matter. There was no correct pronunciation.
That's fire.
So,
that's why it was really hard to sell Nagatsune, because everyone was just like,
right.
Just Nagi. But yeah, go ahead. Let everybody know who you are. Let everybody know what you're about.
I'm MRNIRIS, the Destiny infographic guy. I'm sure you've seen my work probably in Discord somewhere, on Twitter somewhere, Instagram, anywhere. Been making infographics for Destiny. Shit, it'll be 3 years in October now. I haven't missed a week, so yeah, you can catch me streaming a variety of video games and talking about anime, movies, any of my favorite pop culture shit over at twitch.tv/NIRIS, NIRIS.
Nice. So sorry about that. I had to respond to a text. And last but not least, I'm just let you swallow that. You got it?
I'm good.
All right, fantastic. Last but not least, we got my guy, the man that I personally came up with in the game. Most people don't know that. Me and Kareem were definitely, we first met each other when we were non-partners, and we grinded as much as we can. He got it before I did, which is well-deserved. And he's relatively new in the Destiny community, came in head first after 2 god-awful years of me telling him to play the game. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, let me give it a shot. And then he plays it one day, and it's literally been a part of his roster every single day since he's played it. And I'm just looking at him like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? But my guy, KARIMCHEESE, you already know the vibes. Please, Kareem, let them know what you're about. Let them know what you do. Let them know if you have anything planned that you can release. Because I know you're secretive and you like holding things to yourself.
Yes. My name is KARIMCHEESE. If you guys never watched me before, I started on Mixer for 2 years.
So nice.
What? My haircut?
Your haircut is nice. I need a haircut.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All 4. NIRIS is bald, so I can't say nothing about him. But all 4 of you have gorgeous hair.
Thank you so much.
Stop.
No, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I've been waiting for somebody to compliment me on my hair a long time. Thank you so much.
Me, I just chucked it on the top of my head and called it a day.
And everybody knows I've only got one piece of hair that goes right in front of my head.
Yeah, you don't actually have hair. It's attached to the beanie.
Anytime I get a haircut, I look like Lil Bill, so I can't really say anything.
I'm done.
Shut up.
But moving forward, I've been creating content on Mixer for 2 years. Transferred over to Twitch. Been here for a couple months now. It's been amazing. I recently just got sponsored by Logitech, so that was huge for me. I recently just let out Samurai Jack with Adult Swim, and I'm just excited to figure out where the streaming journey is going to take me moving forward, and I'm just happy to be here. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Last but not least, we got me. Take it away, Mara. You already know who I am. I'm gonna talk about myself no more, man. I'm tired of that.
But yeah, I just want to thank everybody here for coming onto the show. And yeah, just basically want to have a discussion talking about the affiliate and partner status and what your thoughts are behind it, pros and cons for either one, and kind of like your journey of how you got to be where you're at now through the affiliate and then the partner. So, ROCKETBEAR, I know, did you initially start out on Mixer or were you on Twitch first?
So the beginning of my journey was on Twitch. Prior to even Beam's creation, I was streaming on Twitch for a little bit. We had a pretty good community going. It was under a different handle too, not the one I currently have. So good luck with that. It was a interesting time for me because I started out with Destiny. We played a little bit of Metal Gear. I was all over the place. Couldn't figure out what I wanted to do in terms of streaming, but it came together for me. Stuck with Destiny, and yeah, the journey from Mixer to Twitch has been very, very interesting. The Twitch community, specifically the Destiny community, has been intensely supportive. It's been fun, but very interesting and neat to see how things work differently from one broadcasting service to the next.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you had partner status on Mixer. When you came over to Twitch, did you get it instantly, or was it something that you had to wait for after a little bit?
I had to wait. I did not get it as a part of the transition. Yeah. I was a partner on Mixer for close to 5 years. They looped in the Beam partnership with that. So if you count both, it was Beam and then Mixer combined 5-ish years. And then during the transition, obviously there was the whole Facebook stuff, partnership over there if you want it. Didn't interest me directly. I was more concerned about where I'd find my place over here and if I could achieve partnership. I applied like everybody else did. And I know BROFISH was almost in the exact same situation I was.
Yep.
In that we were not a part of that initial wave of thumbs up. And then before the partnership arrived, there was a giant wave of thumbs down, like not this time. Yeah. So that's when I was like, oh. And I wasn't sure it was going to happen. And then just a couple days later, it did happen, thankfully. But it was very interesting. It was a little stressful at first.
We were within like 3 days of each other. We were pretty close to each other.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pretty quick.
I was really excited. I was really happy about it.
Because I remember we were doing raids and I was freaking out and you were like, you're fine. And then the next day I got it. And then it was,
Yep. It's just really odd how it all played out, but it played out.
What do you guys think about the difference between, I guess it's more specifically for BROFISH and ROCKETBEAR, the difference between Twitch partner and Mixer partner? Because there was a whole stigma where Mixer partners were getting Twitch partners and people were upset about the whole fact of like they weren't hitting certain requirements that a Twitch affiliate needs to hit. So there was a whole debacle about that, and people are upset about.
I don't think there were any Mixer partners that got Twitch partner that weren't hitting affiliate requirements, because the affiliate requirements are 3 concurrent viewers.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, for the affiliates need to hit to apply for partner, so that's 75 concurrent viewers and stuff like that.
I can't speak for everybody, obviously, because RB and I, we literally streamed for 12 days and we met the requirements naturally on our own. Like we streamed and met the requirements. Like I went through the traditional application process. I went through stream the 12 days, stream the 20 hours a week, have the 75 average viewers. And I think, I didn't realize this until later, and maybe RB knows this as well in hindsight. So there was only one API website where people could pull from their Mixer stats and it was called Mixer Stats, and it was directly linked to Mixer's API. And it was run by a former Mixer partner. That website ceased to exist the moment that Mixer went offline on the 22nd of July of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the mass denials came through a week later. That means that and the reason why I think you saw like 300 Mixer partners get denied was because a lot of them applied with their existing Mixer stats. But by the time that those applications were processing, by the time that those applications were getting looked at, Mixer's API and Mixer Stats API had ceased to exist. So there were no Mixer Stats to pull from when that mass wave of denials happened, because there was nothing to look at in terms of established audience. Those stats were not able to be pulled anymore. And so then what happened was they had to go off of these all of those partners Twitch stats only. And I think that's why you saw a lot of people getting denied. I know that there were some people that were partnered right away. I know there were some who got denied right away. At the end of the day, like I was so worried about myself at the end of the day, and worried about making my content, and worried about meeting my own goals, so I didn't spend a lot of time. I was consoling my friends when they got denied, but I wasn't sitting here going, "Oh my god, this person and this person and this person," cuz like it's not an effective use of my time. But looking back and seeing that that website had been pulled down, and knowing, well, they couldn't have accessed the stats anyway. So I guess it sounds harsh, but a website can't offer people partnership status based on metrics which no longer exist. And they can't, in a sense, partner people in good faith based on metrics they don't know.
Right.
And it sucks. And it sucks for a lot of my friends, because I wanted a lot of my friends who came over to get partnered, and to see as many people as many people get denied as did, and to have RB and I, as far as I know, be two of the few that ended up actually getting a yes it's kind of hard, but everybody was really supportive, and thankfully there wasn't any negativity around my partnership, or as far as I know around RB's partnership either. So
yeah, it was wholly positive. The question being like partners coming over and not reaching that affiliate to partner status in terms of viewership. It's a very interesting one. A lot of people forget that in the years prior, there were a lot of Twitch partners that came over that got Mixer partnership in the exact same way for even less stats.
Right.
And the not the irony, but the interesting nature of the transition back and forth was, to me, a little revealing, in that there are still individuals who care more about where you're streaming rather than who you are.
Right.
So those individuals looking at the moving and the back and forth, I imagine they thought it was completely unfair, but they didn't consider that, oh, well, this person had, let's just say 60,000 followers, and they averaged 180 people every single stream on Mixer, but they come over here, they can't even get 25 people in their stream, and they have like 75 follows. Why is this person getting a partnership? They don't understand it because they don't care. And a lot of people didn't even know Mixer was a thing. Believe it or not, even to this day, even after all that's happened, there are people who still show up in my chat and say, "What's Mixer?"
Yeah.
So it doesn't boggle me too much, but it's very interesting. The transition between those two places for the individuals that came from Mixer to Twitch, I hope has been a good one. I think wholly it's been a learning experience, both for the positive and the negative. The positive being that, yeah, people did get partnership. Negative being, well, people who probably should have gotten partnership couldn't because their metrics vanished overnight.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. Yeah. And that was a gut punch to a lot of people, obviously.
Right. And there were some that absolutely had the metrics, but when those metrics disappear, you can't say, well, Twitch, how come you didn't partner me based on my existing stats? Well, your existing stats don't exist anymore. So if you apply based on established audience or existing metrics, and those metrics no longer exist, then you don't have existing metrics. And it's sad the way that it happened with Mixer, because honestly, there are other websites. Had Mixer had other external API websites, like Twitch has a bunch where you can track them. Yeah. But when a website fails, like when a website ceases to exist, everything around its API ceases to exist, and there's nowhere to track those numbers. And it's just unfortunate that I think a lot of people had their stats basically ripped out from under them. Right. And it vanished.
I never really thought about it like that, because because everyone applied.
We all applied.
We all applied.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I got denied, my headspace wasn't even, I didn't care. Like my whole point of reaching partnership was a personal thing. It was never really about like this dream that I had, or this dream that I had obsessed over in my early years of streaming, was simply just to do something because I wanted to do it. And streaming and becoming a partnered streamer in the streaming industry was like the pinnacle of achievement. So I found the biggest goal ever in an industry or in an environment, and my mind was to achieve that one thing. I don't ever have to hit partner ever again. I can die happy because I've been a partner streamer. So my hands are up in the air, like I'm okay, I'm chilling, right? But thinking about it the way that you put it, I never thought about it like that because I applied the same way that everybody else did.
Right, through established audience.
Through
Because I
through
applied
established
different. Because
audience.
I applied through 75 average viewers. Like I
Right, you
applied
applied
along
through
with
your
RB
metrics.
through the actual Twitch. Like, so there's
Right.
2 applications. For those of you who don't know, there's 2 applications when you go to apply for Twitch partnership. There is, do you have an established audience? And you can check yes and bypass the requirements. If you click no, it says you don't meet the requirements. Please come back and apply when you do. And it physically will not let you apply until you have 75 average viewers. For anyone that's only from Twitch, it physically will not let you apply until you have exactly the metrics on the dashboard that are outlined for it.
Right.
So you can bypass this by having an established audience, but it doesn't guarantee you partnership. And again, it goes off the fact of, are there demonstratable facts and demonstratable evidence to show that you have an audience? And unfortunately, like I said, the evidence for all of these Mixer partners vanished on July 22nd when Mixer stats went down and when Mixer went down. And all of the mass denials started coming through on like June 20 or July 26th, July 28th, 29th, 30th, August 1st. That was when the big lump happened. So it makes me wonder if people like the applications, because Twitch applications do take a long time. So it makes me wonder if they did get to them right after the website was gone. And unfortunately, it was just too late.
So
because they didn't know. There's no way Twitch staff could know this is a website. When this website goes down, the API is going to disappear too. Like maybe they didn't know.
Yeah, so did the API, just out of my own curiosity, did the API just disappeared and there was no way for anybody to export their metrics at all?
They even
you have to take a picture of it basically.
Completely gone. So the website stopped working.
They flipped the switch.
Yeah, they basically
essentially
turned it off.
the deal was everything Mixer related gets pointed to Facebook at that time, the fb.gg, including anything that was used to gauge your metrics.
If you go
like
on
Arsenal GG,
right
you could grab stuff there, but it all got cut right off.
So even if you had documented it on your own, there's still no way to back it up.
Now, I did document it, but I couldn't turn it in with the application because there was no way to add it in there, so I could type about it.
Oh yeah,
to add pictures. So like even if you could download your numbers or even if you could get those, there's no way that someone couldn't prove that you hadn't photoshopped them. There's no way that someone could prove you hadn't modified them.
There's nowhere else to verify the information.
But if you go on mixerstats.com, it literally is blank. It's like, this doesn't exist. So literally any tools that were there for tracking Mixer, I think even Arsenal, because when Mixer went down, therefore Arsenal's API has nothing to pull from either. So it vanished.
Well, you couldn't even log in because it used your Mixer to log in. There's no Mixer. You can't log in. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And so everything that was used to track stats is just gone. So you can't, unfortunately, the established audience works when the website is still there, but when the website's no longer there, then
that's it.
Unfortunately, there's nothing that Twitch can do about that.
Now, I'm curious to hear from Karim, Karim, you're not a partner streamer, but you're doing so many things right now, and you've had so many amazing opportunities. Do you think really, other than, obviously the personal gratification of hitting partner and just hitting that milestone, do you think that's really something that's even important right now for you, or is it just doing what you got to do to make your content, make your community? Like, what's your thoughts behind it?
Full honesty, becoming partner is kind of on the back burner right now for me because I'm hitting all of these goals that you guys are seeing that I'm tweeting about and I'm sharing with you guys, because in a kind of sense, I want you to know that I've done the work on Mixer, and now transferring to Twitch has been great, and I've had a whole bunch of support, and I've had a lot of help, and I haven't done this by myself, which I've talked to Nogi about. I haven't done any of this shit by myself. I've had help. So it's on the back burner because I believe that I don't need to be partnered to be collaborating with all these companies and all these opportunities that I'm doing, because I know I provide quality. I know I provide happiness, community, engagement, and I know I can hit all the factors that you need. I just don't hit the number factor, but don't be afraid, because that company can help you do that.
Right.
You can offer the company a lot more sometimes than what the company can offer you. And if they see that, they could pick you up, and you never know. So just don't give up, and don't be ashamed if you don't hit partner. Just keep going. And I honestly needed that slap in the face from the email telling me I didn't get partnered. I never tweeted about it. I never shared it because I wanted to take it all in. I wanted to, like, you know, it's not going to come easy. And that's exactly what I needed to hear, because now I'm back to my 200% pushing, streaming 9 hours a day in the gym, you know, eating healthy, trying to get my life in order to be a better me moving forward. And it's just been a great experience so far, and that's all I can say is thank you guys. And I'm happy for all the opportunities I'm getting, and I think that, you know, being a partner on Twitch also opens other doors, but at the same time you can open them yourself.
Yeah.
Nearest, what about you? What do you think about the requirements to even apply for partnership? Because even though you hit those requirements, it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get partner. There's a lot of, you know, behind the scenes stuff. But what do you think? I know you're a numbers driven guy, so.
I am, but I try not to be so much anymore. I only am in a sense of like where it comes to what I do for a living, like UX UI, like that those are metrics that you can accurately and precisely make data driven decisions by. These are I hate to call them this, but they're vanity numbers. That's what they are, and I think someone who has exhibited that more than anything and is amazed. Like, I think he tweeted a quote yesterday. I can't remember exactly what it is, so I might be paraphrasing here. But he's like, "Who needs partner when you got the people?" And it's like you don't. The numbers don't necessarily dictate your own community, your effect on them, who you're impacting, anything like that. It's what Twitch has said is a requirement. It's a line that you have to go above in order for them to even consider, like you just mentioned, Maru. It's not guaranteed. The same thing that we're finding out with Discord now in their relaunch of Discord partnership. These companies, they set up all of these numbers as baseline. That's what you need to be considered, and they don't use the word considered because who knows why, but you know, that's what it is. You have to attain these sets of numbers in order to be considered for partnership once you apply for that. It's not guaranteed. It's not, you know, anything. So for me, it's never been about the number. It was for affiliate way, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago when I tried to hit that, but since, like, you know, I've changed my mindset with partnership, and I'm going towards that. Like Kareem just said, is like, just keep doing what you're doing, stick to your goals, stick to your gut, and just because you don't have the numbers to back it up, and my case is also very, very different, and I would actually, I would love to discuss that type of a thing at length, is because my numbers are actually extremely high in every other aspect of everything except Twitch. So it's a matter of that. It's like, how do you measure your own success, and then how do you move forward from that with the confidence to know that you are able to you know, just keep doing what you're doing and not let the numbers get in your head, basically.
I think
100%.
that has a lot to I think that has a lot to do with literally everything that all of you have just expressed, because you have Kareem, who has an inspirational point of view. You have Nearest, who has a more strategic and curious point of view, and then you have Rocket and Brofish, who literally have analytical evidence to show why things are the way that they are, which again, I had no idea. So it's like, even though I applied and got denied, my response was like, Like, it didn't really affect me like that, because I was really more focused on my own emotional characteristics as a streamer, let alone, it's to the point where I don't even consider myself a streamer. I consider myself like an internet personality, because even though I'm not cracking 100, 200 viewers on Twitch, just like Nearest, I literally put out a tweet today that was very much opinionated, that's sitting at over 1,000 likes and a ton of retweets and so on and so forth. I have a tweet that was noticed not only by Xbox but by Twitch themselves. That was literally a reaction of me responding to Fable, which is leaning me towards more into the community of creating content that's not live, so pre-recorded, pre-scripted, edited, so on and so forth. That's really putting me into that headspace. So in regards to asking yourself, like, where did you measure your own success? It has a lot, in my opinion, it has a lot to do with your own perception of what you can achieve at that point and how you can surpass that accomplishment. Because we all know, like, with the streaming community and with the area of what it is now, Empress scared the shit out of me with that. I was creepy as shit. But with the way that the streaming space is now, none of us are really like content with what we're doing now. We're still trying to find out where this is going to go, how we can bypass it, what we can achieve, what newer heights can we reach. Because I don't think that any of us are really just in the headspace to where we just want to hit high numbers, stream, have that be our 8-hour job, log off and then go to bed. Like, we obviously want to impact people. We want to experience things. We want to share opportunities and experiences with people. We want to have these major experiences. Like, there are things that we all want to indulge in and share with people that can then inspire them or bring them happiness or bring them laughter or give them new ideas. What the hell was that?
Exactly.
Flying past my camera just now. What the hell was that?
Dude, I saw that too. That was
You got ghosts in there. What's going on?
That's me and my vacuum. I got a vacuum from my brother who wears a red hat. I gotta find it.
That's the Mixer API ghost.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Please don't.
But I totally get what you're saying. Like, it's
already
not,
dead, let it go.
and I agree with you. Like, like, for me, my community's never been about, oh my God, we have to hit these metrics. Oh my God, we have to hit this sub count. Oh my God, we have to hit this thing. It's always just been people playing video games, having a good time together, and being dorks. Like, that is my community, and that's what it's always been about. For me, like, I would have been fine if I'd gotten denied for partnership. I just figured applying first try, you know, like, I got denied once on Twitch. I got denied once when I was on Mixer. So I'm 1 denial, 1 partnership, 1 denial, 1 partnership on both websites. For me, like, and this sounds weird, but like, I would have been fine as an affiliate. Like, I was doing fine monetarily as an affiliate before I moved to Mixer. Like, I wasn't full time, but there are affiliates that are full time all over Twitch. Like, partnership doesn't necessarily equate to long-term success. I know affiliates that are full time, and I know partners who can barely make full time. I think it's not so much about, you know, the check mark or anything as it is about the actual effort that you're putting into it. Like, I tell people all the time, partnership is like a job interview. Partnership is Twitch saying, okay, we like what you're doing. Now show us you can do more. You know, show us you can keep going.
That's a really good...
and you know, there's a lot of benefits, of course. Like, one of the things I wanted, like, was more emotes. Like, as opposed to 5 emotes, I now have 37 with my tiered ones. So, like, that's a huge thing for my community, for us to be able to express ourselves as a community, to have those emotes. Like, that's great. And a lot of people have this misconception that you start off making more money as soon as you get partnered. You don't. I can tell you that the tier 1 sub split is exactly the same.
I heard something about, and I could be wrong, it's a 3 or 6 months that you have to hit a certain amount of viewers, and then you can negotiate.
I don't know the exact. It's not viewers. It's related to your natural subs that aren't gifted.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, and this may be incorrect, is 500 natural non-gifted subs for 3 months before you can renegotiate.
Got it.
But like, the only thing that I've noticed from my end when I got the Switch flipped, was that my tier 2 and tier 3s are higher. My tier 1s have stayed exactly the same. And yeah, so there's, like, people have a misconception that they think everything just suddenly takes off. Yes, partner does have more benefits. There are squad streaming. There's transcoding, so you get better ingest servers and things like that, and you have a check mark. But realistically, I think that if you're a talented enough content creator and you're good enough at what you do, you can do all of that as an affiliate, because at the end of the day, your content is going to speak for itself. And you have people like Kareem here getting sponsorships that I know that partners don't even have. And he's not letting that hold him back. And at the end of the day, it's because he's hustling his butt off. You know, a lot of people think that they get partnered and it's like, okay, I can take a break now. The last thing I thought when I got partnered was I can take a break. The first thing I thought was, okay, I'm partnered. Now I just got to keep going. But I see a lot of people that are kind of on the come up where they're like, damn, I just want to hit 75 average viewers so I can get partnered and then that's it. And I'm like, okay, so what's your plan? What's your plan after you get partnered? And they're like, I don't know, I just want to get partnered. I'm like, that's not enough.
And
you need a plan.
That acts, so many people, that, because there are people who come to me about, people have been coming to me about content creation for years. From when me and MARU were doing Little Light Radio, we were hitting relatively large numbers because most of our numbers were on Instagram. You can literally go now and our Instagram channel is what, 20, 22, 25?
26,000.
26,000. We hit 26K building a Instagram page from literally nothing by collaborating with people that we're on the team with, that I'm literally on a team with now, which is a full circle. But the reasons why I say that is because people have been reaching out to me about content creation holistically for years. And they have always asked me the same exact thing. Like, how do I reach this? How do I reach this? How do I reach this? And I would always initially ask that exact same question that you literally just said, BROFISH, which is, what's your goal? Like, there's a person now who I don't interact with. And the reasons why I don't interact with is because they would have the same worries that I had, but people don't know. And I only say this when the conversation arises, but there are only certain people who knew what my stream setup, because I used to stream in a corner when I was living in New York. I had a small corner. I shared a room with my fiance at the time, and I took up one large portion of the room, which is a 100%, like, I fully appreciative of the family that I was living with, because they would always support that. They would always make sure that I had the space, time, and opportunity to do so. They would even respect me enough to where when I was streaming, they would try their very best to be quiet. But it's really hard to do that when you got two rowdy ass little brothers who are just more crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was really a situation to where it was like, I would always ask the exec, did he just manifest that?
Truly.
He said, Doctor Strange said he opened up the portal and everything.
Delicious.
It was really a situation to where I would always be asked that question, and my response would always be, well, what are you trying to do? And they would never have a response. They would either never have a response, or they would never have an indication. And to talk about the person that I'm no longer in contact with, he had the same exact worries that I had. He was always worrying about his numbers, just like I was. He was always questioning whether or not he should be doing it, just like I was. But then I would tell him, like, okay, if you're worried about this, and this, what are you doing in response to it? Oh, well, I'm worried about these numbers. I'm worried about this, and the third. My head is not in the right space. I'm not going to stream for a month. Okay, well, if you're not going to stream for a month, you're taking care of your mental health, then I understand that. But also understand that you not streaming for a month when you don't even have a large community at that is going to do major impact to what it is that you've accomplished thus far. So
right, and if you're so obsessed with numbers, like you're so obsessed with numbers, then you burn yourself out, take a break for a month, then you've basically killed any progress you've made. Then you come back to look at your numbers again, and then you're even more upset about it. Like,
because now you can't retain. It's a cycle because you can't retain what you just recently lost.
Dangerous cycle.
It is, and it's such an incredibly thing. It's an incredibly and the reasons why it's such a not a sensitive topic but such a serious topic for me is because I was that person who stressed holistically about numbers. I was the person who would legitimately stream to me, myself, my laptop, my phone, and my girlfriend, and they would be the 5 people in my channel. And I would sit there and I would watch it and I would be so distraught. I will never forget there was a day where I was so bothered by streaming and my lack of progress and growth that I remember coming home from work and literally like laying in one linear. I planked on my bed and laid there for 4 hours. My girlfriend came home. She couldn't talk to me. She couldn't say anything to me. Like, that's how obsessed I was over numbers. I remember her being so bothered by it because she felt like she couldn't do anything. She couldn't help me. And the reasons why that's such a serious topic for me is because was someone who obsessed over numbers, but I shit you not. What you saw, you can literally go back to all of my like old Instagram clips because you could see the camera positioning. What you saw from the camera was my chair where I was sitting. On my left, you saw like posters, Spider-Man posters, Marvel comics. I had a couple of things that Cobb drew me for a birthday present that he and Boma had came to like surprise me with this like extra large ass last word replica. It was gorgeous. But it like that's what you saw from the camera's point of view. What you didn't see was that behind the camera, I had my 2 monitors. It wasn't even a desk. It was just where my shit was. But on the wall, from literally where the monitor was to the ceiling, was lined up papers. Empress is in chat. You can ask her. She can attest that there were papers from my monitor to the ceiling, across the entire wall, down to the floor, of just notes, ideas, concepts, plans, literally everything that I could, anything that came to my mind, I would wake up thinking of an idea and immediately write it on the wall and spend hours not falling back to sleep because I was obsessing over it. But it's like I spent so much time on plans to have conversations with people who wanted to reach the same goals that I had, and they didn't do shit. They wasn't doing nothing. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's like, what? Come on, man. You're trying to...
You want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Like it's rough. It's really rough. It's really rough.
A lot of people think that they can just kind of hit the go live button and then it's all gonna come to them, and they want to hit partner, and that's the end goal for them. But that shouldn't be the end goal. And anybody who has that
needs to be the beginning. It should be the beginning of something. I keep telling people, like, you see a lot of streamers, they're like, I just want to hit that 75. I just want to get that check mark, and that's the end goal. I'm like, but that can't be the end goal, because partnership should be the beginning of your... If you're serious about making this your career, if you're serious about doing this for a living, partnership is the job interview that basically allows you to keep doing it, and it's when the hard work actually starts. And that's not to say that, like, you've been working your ass off up to this point, but like now you gotta take it even further and decide, okay, so now I have this endorsement from Twitch, because that is essentially what it is. Like, you can be full-time as an affiliate, you can be full-time without it, but partnership is an endorsement. It sometimes, and we've seen with Kareem that this isn't the case, that you don't need the check mark to get sponsorships. You don't need it. But let's be honest, there's a lot of companies that look at you differently. There's a lot of companies that look at you differently simply because of the check mark in front of your name. And
I would even argue just because of video.
Yeah,
that's been so. I mean, like,
what do you mean, Iris?
Well, the
you want to expand on
transcoding,
that?
I mean, just me
about, yeah.
personally. No, I mean just video content on video.
Oh, okay.
Not to like sidetrack, but like
No, of
that's
course.
something
No, go for
I've had to deal with incredibly. Like I will not get the same opportunities because my content doesn't exist on video.
Right. It's not in the same
That's
sense
it,
as like
yeah.
somebody like me who
I
sits
do-
on camera all day,
Yep.
right?
I do insane numbers on my website, Instagram, and Twitter. But
Congrats on that, by the way. I forgot, what was the number you hit?
We were at 11.4 on Twitter, 14.4
That's wild.
on Insta, and I do like 50,000 uniques a month on my website.
On the website, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's insane. That leads me to this question, because one, that narrative is ridiculous, right? But to detest to what BROFISH said, because she's really hitting a lot of different points that are a lot of different perceptions. There was a specific situation that had occurred, and I'm not gonna put any names out there, but there was a Mixer partner who was one of the top leading content creators on the platform, who is now, not only are they not a Twitch partner, but they are making a fraction of what they were making on Mixer. And this person had made the statement of saying that you are not grinding until after you hit partner. Now, the reasons why I made that statement, and my question to you is this. Well, obviously my question is, how do you guys individually feel about that? And the reasons why I say that is because of, one, what BROFISH said, while acknowledging that there is grind prior to the partnership, but more grind comes after. And on top of that, acknowledging that you don't necessarily need to hit partner to be successful, because here you have two streamers who are affiliates, whereas one just hit a major sponsorship that even some partners don't have. And you have another who signed to an established esports organization due to strictly the resume of what has been in the past. My success, because I'm someone whose success is not about numbers, my success is due to how much I've put in and how long I've been in it. Because I'm not over here cracking beautiful numbers like all of you guys on the channel, but I've been here for you.
Well, and I mean, even in the grand spectrum of Twitch, like I may be a partner, but my numbers are still thousands below the top partners on Twitch. Like I still have a long way to go. And it's worth noting, like a lot of people experience like even my numbers, because I've been playing a lot of different games. Like my numbers when I play Destiny are still great, but my numbers that I have now playing other games aren't. They wouldn't. I had
the other day we
someone.
were playing Apex, right?
I had someone come into my chat like a week after I got partnered. I was streaming Ghost of Tsushima or I think I was streaming Horizon Zero Dawn, and I had just started my stream. There were 20 people in chat. And while I was streaming Horizon, I was somewhere around like 60 to 80, which if it drops below that, then it's not. People think you have to maintain the 75 constantly to be partnered too. So I had someone, and they maintained that they weren't being rude. They came in and they were like, how did you get partnered with such low numbers? And I'm like, that right there is your problem, because you think that somebody's worth as a partner on Twitch is only valued by their numbers. And I will agree that Twitch to some extent does perpetuate this of like, hey, you have to hit this average number.
I love how everybody's response is like, the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
But yeah, I think that this whole expectation of, oh, you don't have 75 average viewers as a partner on one day because you're having one bad day, you shouldn't be partnered anymore. It's like, what? You gonna yank somebody's partnership because they have a bad day? Like every single streamer in the entire industry has a day where their numbers drop. It happens. Whether it's so I think that even it's permeated so much to the culture of even viewers, where it's this focus on viewership. And to be fair, I kind of called them out. I'm like, well, my average when I applied for partnership was 200. So, I don't think I have to justify myself, but numbers drop when you change your main game. It happens, as RB just said in chat. Like, no, your numbers drop when you change your main game. Like, I have great numbers when I play Destiny, but like I've been exploring a lot of variety, because right now I don't necessarily care what my average viewership is, because I care about building a community based on playing games that I like. But there have been a number of people that have come in, because my numbers are lower when I play variety, that have been like, so how did you get partnered? Oh, you want those partners that just got it handed to them? I'm like, no, I applied like everybody else, had these numbers. And they're like, oh, wow, no need to get so defensive. Like I wasn't. I'm like, well, you were. Like,
yeah,
just
they always test
you
and then say, "Oh, you don't have to be
Oh,
mad."
I had that happen.
A lot of them are looking to elicit reaction too.
And it's fine. Like I'm fine with answering and being like, these were my numbers when I applied. My numbers are not the same. That's how content creation works. We were playing Apex last week, and I was averaging like 40 playing Apex, but it didn't bother me. I was having a great time.
That happened to me like 2 days ago. Not to derail it, because it's still a part of the topic of someone like coming in and talking shit. But I was playing Destiny, and you guys already know I'm a Crucible guy. So I'm playing Destiny, I'm playing the Crucible. And this guy comes in and he's like, has not followed the channel, does not know who I am, immediately comes in and asks, are your shots off today? Like a fucking infomercial. And I was so pissed off about, like, I read it, and instead of me responding to it, I was streaming with Haste. Got a lot of people who know me know Greater Haste. I play with him a lot. So we're playing with each other, and I said, hey, Haste, quick question. He's like, yeah, bro, what's up? Because he wasn't in my chat. He wasn't in my chat. I said, how would you feel if somebody like comes into your channel and says, like asks you if your shots are off today? He was like, are they a regular? That was the first question he asked. He's like, are they a regular? And I'm like, nah, random person, never follows, never interacted, just met him. He says, oh, fuck him. Like he goes on this like 30-minute rant and digs into this guy. And after he was finished, I was like, That's about sums it up. And the guy that said something responded with, "Bro, what do you mean? Like, why would you, bro? Relax. It's not that serious." I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So with even more to that, so I have people, and this happens. I'm probably the only. Well, maybe I'm not the only person in this room that gets that. But I'll get the people that come in, and I had a guy come in. He was like, "Hey, Guardian, how would you like to come on a date with me to the Dreaming City?" And was like super slick about it. And I was
I
like,
don't get
Nope.
and my response was,
Just
"Oh."
I have some fun stories for you.
My response was, "Oh, the Dreaming City? That sounds nice. I should get my husband who's a hunter, and then I'm a warlock, and then we can go on a date together." And he was like, "Oh, rip." And he like made a big deal about it. And I'm like, "Dude, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, Twitch is in a dating site." And he was like, "Oh, calm down, girl. It's just a joke." I'm like, "It's always a joke when you get rejected."
People
I
are
love
weird.
how when Brofish like makes a comeback, she like shifts herself. I love that because it's like, yeah,
I'm
fuck
like,
you.
"Oh, yeah." Like it's
I love
people.
it.
They always are like, "Oh, girl, chill. Like it wasn't that serious." I'm like,
That's
do you
why
always just half-ass proposition people? Because that doesn't make it feel special.
that's why I am the way that I am when it comes down to that, because I mean, I don't experience that. I don't have nobody coming into my channel wishing to take me to the Dreaming City. I don't know what that feels like, but I'm pretty sure that if that was to happen, I'd probably throw up in my mouth a little bit because I hate
I had
PvE.
the one that made me throw up in my mouth was I told somebody I was married, and I'm
Ew.
gonna watch Zod throw up in his mouth a little bit in chat. Was I told him I was married, and he's like, "That's okay. I like a challenge."
What the fuck? Oh, burn it with fire.
And I was literally like, "Woo!"
There's his head just
These
caved in.
people are out there.
Yeah,
They
and-
thrive places.
Yeah, and
Burn it
I literally got up out of my chair, and I think I went and poured a glass of wine and then banned him and then moved on.
Oh my god.
How do you guys
I
feel
like a
about
challenge.
the discussion where people are talking about how when certain people hit the partnership status, they kind of feel entitled? What's your thoughts on that, Rocketbear? If you wanna capture this one.
So entitlement as what? Like saying they deserve codes, they deserve certain recognition, they deserve front page
Yeah,
time,
pretty much that.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that it kind of puts them above everyone else.
Oh, the people who email companies and go, "Hey, I'm a Twitch partner. Can I have a code? Hey, I'm a Twitch partner. Can I have this thing?" Like that kind of people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that it exists. I mean, it obviously exists. I'd say don't be that person. I
Yeah.
don't think it's great. I really don't. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a great way to carry yourself in any facet of life. Entitlement is a huge problem in the world today in many different areas of which I'm very passionate about, as is, I know, you guys. I won't get into that in this episode, but there's a lot of entitlement out there, and it ruins everything. When you think you deserve something just because of the nature of who you are in your own head, not necessarily who you actually are, you are bringing all sorts of other issues into the area, and everyone in that area is going to have to deal with your garbage just because you feel that entitlement and you feel the need to flex that entitlement. That's a problem. I don't think it's great. Now, when it comes to Twitch partnership, I think it's a little less serious just because of the nature of what we do here on Twitch. We have fun, we create content, we make a living, or we just do it for funsies, whatever. But entitlement is still an issue. Maybe not in the same vein as what I was alluding to, but it's still a bad look. It's still potentially very toxic, and for the most part, not helpful to anybody, not even the person who's feeling the entitlement. I don't like it. I try not to act that way. I go out of my way to help educate people and tell them that this is not good. And if you expect to get things just because of a check mark beside your name, you're going to be real disappointed real fast.
Yeah.
You need to get out there and work for it. You need to show your worth. You need to show your value. Give tangible results. Don't just show up with a badge and say, "Hey, gimme," because that ain't going to work.
And like, I feel like, I don't know if you feel this way, RB, but I feel like I've overcompensated for that to the point where, like, I have this weird, like, imposter syndrome, and we talk about this a lot in this industry, where I'm so hard on myself, and my mods literally give me shit for this all the time, is I am so hard on myself because of seeing other people be entitled that I don't think that I deserve anything, and I'm so shocked when opportunities come my way because
Mhm.
because I've conditioned myself to be so opposite of those people. Like, I don't think I deserve anything. I don't think I'm anybody important. I don't think that, like,
Well, you're
I'm
taking
owed
what
anything.
they're trying to get out of their entitlement and putting it on
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Also, be careful because you're wounding yourself
Yeah,
with
and I need to
their
stop
weapons.
that. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
sucks
don't
because, like,
don't
I'm
do that
worried
to
about
yourself.
the whole, like, confidence. Like, it's the fine line between having confidence and being overconfident. And you're allowed to have confidence in yourself as a broadcaster, and I've definitely been working on that where I feel like I
Mhm.
am worth something, I am worth this, but, still have that like that line of I'm still really grateful for this. I worked hard for this, but I'm also really grateful for this.
Yes, you don't need to carry their baggage. You don't need to assume their pain. You are you and you work on you and you are worth something that is not dependent on anyone else around you. You're
Yeah.
a strong individual on your own. And that goes for everybody who's listening, not necessarily only you. You are an individual, and what someone else's existence is can have no bearing on you as an individual. Don't take in what they have and put it on yourself. Know your worth, get out there, make it work for you. Be grateful for the things that come your way, of course. Don't flex that entitlement, and instead go out of your way to help others and lift
Mhm.
them up. I think
Yeah.
that's a better way to go about it, because the moment you start taking the pain that they're putting off on you and you start having that imposter syndrome and saying, I don't deserve all this stuff, you will start missing out on things. And I'm not just talking about game opportunities, keys and codes and such. I'm talking about genuine happiness. I'm talking about experiences in your life that are going to be removed from you because you're absorbing that damage. That's not
Mhm.
even yours,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that entitlement is incredibly bad. And when you're flexing that kind of stuff, just know that there are people out there who are going through that imposter syndrome who may be wounding themselves because you have decided that it's more important that everyone knows that you deserve everything in that room just by
Right.
being there, right? So let's stop that.
I
That's
feel
my
So
like
opinion.
the I don't mean to cut you off. I feel like the equivalent of entitled people are people who spoil Marvel movies.
Oh
Yes.
man.
stop.
I
Like
hate those
No
you're
spoilers.
you're
people.
They're
that
like
person.
they're
Like,
like, "I
that.
know something you don't. I have what
Right.
you don't,
Like, you're that
therefore."
person. Like, you are the
Yeah.
equivalent of someone who spoils Marvel movies, who
Wh-
spoils Star Wars.
Somebody
Oh,
Or who
I'm
spoil.
like
Somebody
skin
tried to
or
Hmm.
spoil
who
Star
like
Wars on me.
or who like leak or spoil anything. They're like, "I know something you don't. I know something you don't."
I'm gonna
It's
Keep it
like
to
skin
your
you
damn self.
like
before I
yeah,
stab you
Don't
in the.
need
No,
it.
I'm
keep it to
just-
yourself. Like
I'll cut
So
you.
Kareem, I want to hear from you coming over as a mixer partner and being on Twitch. How have you seen like a big difference between mixer partners and Twitch partners, or what's your take on
Um,
it?
so the difference between my mixer partners, I'm still a lot of friends with a lot of mixer partners, and I've had a lot of falling out with a lot of mixer partners because of my honesty and moving forward with situations that obviously I'm not going to bring up right now, but a lot of the Twitch partners have been great to me and awesome, supportive in my channel, coming back, being avid part of my community. Um, I don't know if it's because they see good in me or they know that I'm trying to be serious, but it's been a very great transition, a great switch in. Um, moving forward on Twitch, I would like to tell everybody, like, if somebody's not coming to your channel or not subbing to your channel, people have jobs, people have lives, they need to pay for their livelihood, and they can't sub to 45 million people. Don't be mad at them.
yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And just for people showing up in every other streams, don't expect a full-time content creator to show up to your stream because they're creating content at the exact same time, or when they're not creating content, they're living their life. You
When
can't be
full-time
upset
streamers
about that.
show up to my stream, I'm like, thank you for like when even if a full-time content creator, like say if RB shows up to my stream, if he shows up for 5 minutes, I'm happy because he's got shit to do. Like
Yep.
full-time content creators have so much going on. Like I try to make it to as many of my friends' streams as I can, and I lurk generally when I'm like getting ready in the morning or in bed or if I'm lurking, chances are it's because I'm done for the day. I've done nothing. But like if I do pop into chats, I can usually only do it for 5 to 10 minutes because I have my own stuff that's going on. And so whenever a full-time content creator comes into my stream, I'm like, thank you for taking time out of your day. Like,
Time
thank
is
you
a
for,
time is
like,
a commodity that you can never get back. So
yeah,
I'll
and
wake up for work at 3 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
Leave me alone.
So like, yeah, and
be
like
trying
the
to hold
thing to be
them
the
on
thing
Destiny.
the thing
Yeah.
to the thing people have to remember is like, it's not about how much, it's about whether or not people try to take the time to do stuff. Like, you can't quantify someone's support for you at the end of the day. Like, I have friends that I am still best friends with. Like, I may not get to Nogi's stream all the time. Nogi may not get to my stream all the time. But we know that we want each other to succeed. We know that we support each
right.
other. We know that we got each other's back. And I think that if you have genuine friendships in streaming, the amount of time that that person spends in your stream isn't indicative of how much they appreciate you as a person. Because I get friends that can't come to my stream ever, but they check in on me in DMs. Support goes beyond just showing up in your stream. It
I
goes.
think a lot of people
It's
do
about
that.
liking your tweets.
Shocking
it's about,
concept, right?
yeah, I
A
know.
lot of people
It's
do that. A lot of
amazing that
people
like you
gauge
can
it
support someone
by how
beyond
much
just
you're
being
in
in
your
their
stream.
stream.
Who'd have
Like,
thought?
I get friends that the most I talk to them is like a couple DMs here and there, and they like my tweets. But I'm so grateful that they still like my boring ass tweets all the time. Like,
Those
are the real friends.
That's a matter of perception, and I think that, and I understand that perception is a relatively sensitive topic, but I also think that a lot of people's y'all know me, Rocket. It's hard. Me and Rocket, it's hard for me and Rocket to ever collab with anything because Rocket is super nice and he's super respectful, and I just unfortunately say fuck a lot. So that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't.
I have to censor so much when I stream with him. Like, tomorrow when we play Fall Guys, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna make you cuss.
Oh, are you gonna
make you cuss? And it's the
and I
thing is,
feel so bad every time. Wait till I have my Go XLR. I'll just bleep myself out.
oh, it's great. But I think when it comes down to perception of support or perception of people who are there for you and people who are genuinely there for you, I'm learning this myself, right? About myself in terms of who's really there for me, who's not really there for me, people that I want around me, people that I don't want around me. I'm acknowledging that there is a very, very, very obvious line. It's not a thin line. It's not a thin line. It's not black. It is black or white, actually. It's not blurred. It's not hard to see. If someone doesn't show up to your channel, that don't mean that you don't have the right to be mad at them for X, Y, and Z. I don't care if any of you show up to my channel or not. You know why? Because we're all streamers. 2, anybody who doesn't show up to my channel who's not a streamer has lives. I don't expect a single person to show up to my channel. I have no expectations for any type of acknowledgement, any type of growth, any type of subscriptions, any type of financial support, no donos, no nothing. When I go live because I want to be live. If someone hops into my channel, I want to talk to that person. But at the end of the day, I'm gaming. I just want it to be on film. If somebody shows up, I'm interacting with that person like that person is sitting right next to me. It's that simple. It's that realistic. I'm not expecting any type of support under any circumstances for any reason whatsoever, for no matter how. There's no duration. There's no time. I'm literally, if you fart in the direction of my channel, I'm blessed. Like, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I
saw a tweet the other day from a friend of mine who was like, you know who the real goats are? The real goats sometimes, and this is obviously a very blanket example, but like, you can tell who's there for you as a content creator and not just for all of your like streams or whatever, is the people who also like your sponsored tweets. Because the sponsored tweets, everybody who does sponsored work on this thing knows,
they perform
every
the
time,
worst.
Every
The
time that you
absolute
tweet
worst.
something that's sponsored, engagement just goes in the toilet. And the people who constantly are there for your, because a lot of people see sponsorship or opportunities as selling out or as things that are like, oh, you're just plugging, you're being such a shill, oh my god, this isn't really you.
God forbid you
And the
make a
people-
wise business decision.
Yeah, and the people who support you genuinely doing things for your career. Like, I have the same people who constantly are like, oh, you got early access to this game. That's amazing. You got, this thing for advanced. That's amazing. Like, I don't think people realize how much, like, just even liking a sponsored tweet helps you, because we as streamers dread making we dread doing hashtag ad. We dread doing these things that we have to do legally. I legally have to put hashtag ad in any tweet where it's sponsored, but I inherently dread it because I'm like, this is going to, sometimes people unfollow me just because I do like a thing for an obligation that I have, but I may want to play this game early, and I'm really excited about playing this game early. And I had back in like, I think it was like March for Final Fantasy, I had to tweet that I was doing stuff early, and I had to put like hashtags and at Square Enix and all of these things. And the number of people that like people would unfollow immediately after that tweet was posted, I'm like, you have a problem with this. This is the part of my content that you have a problem with.
Got beef?
You have a problem with me succeeding.
Listen,
And
there are people out there that their mind is so locked into, if I see this, this person is instantly a sellout. Don't
Right.
sweat it. They
And it's
weren't
like-
doing you any
yeah.
favors anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But
I-
the goats are the people who constantly push for you to get more opportunities and continue to cheer you on when you get those opportunities.
Focus on those people,
And I
not the
do.
ones that unfollow you for that garbage.
Absolutely.
Nearest, you want to
Does
say
anybody
something?
have a hashtag
I've never seen those specifically, but like when I was preaching about how much I loved Freshly and how much it has saved my life recently because I hate cooking food and everything, like I started tweeting about it, and I had so many people like, yo, hashtag ad, and I'm just like, no, I just like it. Like, what?
I know, it's crazy. People think that if you're a content creator or any kind of person in this business, if you're overly pushing something, it's because you're shilling for it. Like,
God forbid I'm
I don't
passionate.
I
about
don't
something
shill
or like
advanced
it.
GG because I want to shill it. I shill it because I genuinely drink it every day and it helps me
Right.
stream. I don't,
It's
and like, I've never been the kind of content creator that fluffs up anything or blows smoke up anybody's ass. If I tweet that I like something, it's because I freaking like it.
here's my advice. Here's my advice. Get ready, because this doesn't happen often. When Nogi gives advice, it's very rare.
Yeah.
I'm
Hit me
ready.
with it.
Advice with Nogi.
Advice with Nogi. Here's my advice. If you are not, we're not talking about the people who represent, movie spoilers. We're not talking about those dickheads, not the entitled assholes. If you like something, if you are being paid to do something, if you are promoting something that you use, I've had these headphones for 4 years. These same exact headphones. Literally, the inside is the exact same shape of my head. That's how long I've had these. Right? I don't promote Astro. I'm not sponsored with Astro, but I love Astro. I literally will not use any other headset. I can sell this headset to the T. But my advice is this: if you like something, or if you're paid to do something as a content creator where financial support comes specifically how you get it, and especially if you have morals, it might come a bit more scarce because you respect how you're earning your money. Somebody has a problem with that, fuck them.
Exactly. What was they doing it for?
I need to have a
anyways?
jingle. Like, I need to have a jingle. Like,
Unless they're paying your bills, man. If they ain't paying my bills.
if you
fuck
ain't
them.
paying me,
Yeah.
if you ain't paying me, listen, I ain't gonna finish that sentence. But if you ain't,
Put it this way, I had someone attack my husband and he streamed on his personal channel for the first time in 4 months, and had somebody attack him basically for taking, because my husband now is contracted to work with 2K. He's a producer director on a bunch of their shows, and he has a contract now where he is paid like he gets paid a consistent amount. So he's not like any other full-time streamer where he's making this every month, as we know.
he's making this.
And someone was basically like, oh my God, you're this. You never say anything bad. You've changed as a person, blah, 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 blah. It's like, first of all, he hasn't changed for shit. He's still the same person on Twitter. He's still the same guy I married. Secondly, you're mad we aren't starving anymore? Like, basically, like, and he had to full on, like,
Right.
go out to that person and be like, look, I know that you liked me better when I was a full-time streamer on my own channel, but I was barely making enough to survive. So if you're unhappy now that I'm not starving, that is a you problem. And I'm glad that he stood up for himself, because honestly, like,
That's way more than a you problem. Why are you upset that I'm able to eat? Why are you bothered that I'm able to pay a bill? Why are you mad that I'm able to
about it.
exist?
The
I
other thing too about it,
can
not just this. So you know that I'm
What the
trying
fuck?
you know that I'm trying to immigrate to the United States. You know that I'm trying to live with my husband permanently, right? while he was
What I don't understand why
while he
people
was
do
a
that.
full-time streamer, he couldn't afford to sponsor me. He didn't make the minimum requirements to sponsor a relative to come live with him. So now this person is mad because my husband is finally able to actually facilitate us living together. And so we literally would have been separated forever at that rate. If he had kept doing full-time streaming on his channel, we literally would never be able to live together. We're still going through the paperwork of trying to live together.
Whoever's against whatever it is that you were trying to do to be with your man, fuck them. That's how I feel. Fuck them. If they want to fight, if anybody come at you, if they want to fight, I got a lot of pent up anger. Tell them
they
send
don't
me my
care
way.
about my
He's ready to throw down.
The United States care about my income because I'm Canadian, so they don't.
It's really hard to be a community manager.
They don't care about what. So it's
really
all
be professional all the time.
The responsibility is entirely on my husband to sponsor me, and so he took on this burden of I'm going to take on this extra work. He was prepared. He used to work at Starbucks. He was prepared to be a shift supervisor so he could afford to sponsor me. But 2K came with this opportunity. It was something he believed in. And so he said, I believe in this. This is great. And it'll help me sponsor my wife. And we won't be starving anymore. Great. And to see people come after him that have been following him for 6 years was I was just glad he stood up for himself. Because like I said, I don't get what the fascination with streaming and the starving artist fantasy is.
Right.
And
because when you make money, you're not the real ones anymore. Now you're you're in the different category, right? When you're struggling, you're one of the real ones.
Yeah, you're one of the real ones when you're eating ramen 6 days a week.
Coming from a person who used to, y'all ever saw those restaurants? I don't know if New York does this. I don't know if any other place does this. I don't know if you ever saw those restaurants that would have plates of food out to advertise what they had.
Sure, yeah.
Y'all seen that before?
Yeah.
I was a guy that would walk past those restaurants and steal the plate.
Take it.
I would take the plate. I would take the plate. I wouldn't take the wine because the wine was always fake. But I would take the plate, and the sandwiches was always hard and cold. And it was never, none of it was ever freshly cooked. And I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of other shit that was just touching that sandwich. I really don't know how I survived.
That's
to be
nasty.
honest, that's disgusting. But also that's disgusting. But so is eating wings half-assed.
Listen,
so
that's
oh,
not
please clean your wings. Can we start talking about that? Can we change the entire?
Maru clean his wings, bro. Maru clean his wings.
Listen, this
and he likes mountaintop.
This
wait, hold on.
This isn't an intervention.
Wait, Maru. That picture you tweeted wasn't a joke today?
Nope.
No, bro.
Listen. Hey.
No, that was real.
He supports mountaintop. Why you think I tweeted what I tweeted?
Bro, I don't like cartilage, man. I don't like cartilage.
Wait, what do you mean you eat your wings?
He eats the mid. You know the flats. He eats the middle and leaves the rest.
Wait, what do you mean though?
I
like you leave enough heat on the wing.
I don't clean my wings fully. I just leave the fat nubs at the top ends. That's what I leave. I don't eat that. I don't eat the cartilage. I don't eat the cartilage.
That's all I do is leave the fat nubs too.
I don't eat the cartilage. Don't be mad at me because I don't eat the cartilage.
That's 50% of the people here. 50% of the people here say the same.
My grandma for literally eating it and starting to eat the bone marrow,
All right.
No, I don't like the bone marrow. I'm sorry. I no.
The meat and
you and Marketer are disgusted.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't like the cartilage. I like the chicken. I like the skin, all that stuff. But when it gets to the crunchy part,
trying not to waste it.
Y'all should just order some nuggets then.
Yeah, please, just get some boneless nuggets.
I'm being judged. I'm being judged.
Kids table over here. We'll put a little puddle of ketchup in your box for you. You can dip them. Be fine.
Get you a small little stool. We'll get you a baby bib.
We're really
Damn it, Mar, I'll be a kid with you. I'll be a kid. We'll sit at the kid table.
Boneless wings are chicken nuggets.
Chicky nuggies, chicky tendies. That's exactly what y'all deserve. I can't.
Bro,
I can't eat wings.
I legit put a poll out, and
chicken nuggets are deep fried, and it's not the same.
It isn't the same, but. So
y'all don't deserve the elegance of wings.
So
you know what, Rocket? Once all of this COVID shit is done, Rocket,
that dry rub goodness.
Pounding some weight.
Wait. Can we not come?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why?
No, because I'm not gonna. I will pay for all of the wings. I'm not gonna sit here and watch my money go to waste because I can't finish y'all shit.
Okay. So what if?
No.
We go to Buffalo Wild wings. I'm gonna order my own wings. Pay for
You
my
ain't
own.
gonna,
wings.
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
gonna
pay for
be-
my own shit. I'm still
you gonna
coming.
pay-
Y'all ain't gonna
that's
stop
fine.
me from
You gonna
coming.
pay $30 and eat 15. That's exactly what it's going to happen.
That's fine.
I'm gonna eat $15 worth of wings.
That's fine with me.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'll just bring my husband along.
Wow.
That make me sick.
Does. My husband is a carburetor. You whatever you leave behind, he will eat.
Yeah, let's see. He gets it. He gets it.
He gets it,
Yeah.
but that's horrible. Why would you leave? No.
Anybody watching? We this is actually a sponsored Buffalo Wild Wings podcast episode.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag clean your wings.
Hashtag
Hashtag not sponsored, but very willing.
Hashtag make those wings with a little more chicken on the Buffalo Wild Wings, okay?
Well,
more
we went
chicken.
there. How would you know if you don't fucking?
What do you mean?
finish
What
it?
do you mean? What do you mean? How would you know? Like I haven't ate at Buffalo Wild Wings before. You gonna say I haven't ate at?
Nah, man.
No, real talk. I've never been to Buffalo Wild
I
Wings.
can't wait to go. Hey, we're gonna go out to eat at the
Yeah,
con, and I'm not gonna clean my
We
wings.
don't have that
I'm
shit.
gonna fucking flip the
don't
table.
even-
Don't worry about it.
Noggy's gonna be sitting on the other side of that table, and Kareem's gonna be over there just nibbling wings real
I'm
gently.
gonna stab him
Gently,
in the
like
hand with a
Squidward. You ever
fork.
see the Squidward when he bites the Krabby Patty? Just like that,
We don't
motherfucker.
even
Like
have
that.
Chipotle, we don't have
Just like that.
We don't
I'm
have.
so irritated. I'm not gonna win a silver. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave it, and I'm gonna leave you with the bill.
I've never had
I'll
Taco
pay
Bell.
that.
Like we don't have shit here.
Taco Bell's
Well,
amazing.
I live
You
in the
have-
middle. I live in the middle of nowhere. We
You
don't
got
have.
bacon money.
We don't
you
got
got-
shit.
You got bacon
Um,
money.
All right,
We don't have
so
here.
real quick, because I don't want to derail, and I have a couple
Sorry.
questions that
Too late.
I have a couple questions that people have asked.
Okay.
Just to get through real quick.
sure.
So Nearest and Brofish kind of touched on this a little bit before, but Nearest, when you're talking about Discord, there was a question that somebody had asked before, where I think now, and I could be wrong, Discord is looking at reevaluating partnership.
They are.
What do you think about? There was a conversation about reevaluating partnership for Twitch partners also in like a 6-month or a 1-year thing. So Nearest, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's fair and completely should be happening. I think if a company is going to stand behind and endorse, like all of us have said here, okay, hang on, let me rephrase this. The weird part is if it's numbers driven, and
Like
what
if I
those
drop below 75 average, should I lose 30 of my emote slots? Like that doesn't seem
Right. it
and
shouldn't-
like everybody has bad days with streaming. Like I said, I have friends that wouldn't qualify for partnership anymore that have been partnered for 4 years.
So,
Yeah.
and Brofish, you're touching on a great point, because right now, and I think this is where like it's just getting weird. Is if you are already a partner, it
Mhm.
shouldn't be based on your viewership. Like,
Right, absolutely not. It could be based on revenue.
sure, and
Could be
who
based
knows the amount of
if
subs,
subs-
whatever. I don't know what that is or looks like or anything,
But
but
not based on CCV for sure.
right. But where Discord has gone with it, it's based on your number of communicators, weekly retention of new members.
It's usage, right? It's a usage one.
Basically just how
So-
involved your
Yeah, off the
Every
top of my
day,
head,
everybody's Discord's not always
it's-
popping. You know,
it's
like some days
50
it's quiet.
average-
Hey,
it's, sorry,
preach,
50
bro! I literally tweeted about it today. Like,
Yeah.
I am qualified in excelling in literally
So,
every single fucking requirement except for active chatters.
Right. So
Like,
I'm a Discord partner right
losing
now. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it because it's
But it's
50
8 weeks.
unique. It's 50 unique chatters over 1 week though.
but current partners are only getting looked at if you haven't retained it for an 8-week period.
Right.
So if you,
But even so, 8 weeks isn't long enough for me to suddenly make 50 people talk in my Discord.
Mm.
My Discord has been consistent for 2 years. Like I've been Discord partner for almost 2 years now. And I look at even like put it this way, I'll give you context. I'm in Discords from a lot of big partners. I'm in Professor Broman's Discord, Gathalian's Discord. They don't have 50 active people per week, 50 unique people.
It's all
And-
the
and-
same.
they'll be
It's usually a good 10 to 15.
Right. But those are streamers that have thousands of average viewers that don't even meet the Discord partnership requirements.
So
And-
kind
and-
of going away from Discord though, and more so, the conversation would be more so, what will your thoughts be? Like, are you guys comfortable with that idea of Twitch kind of reevaluating, or is that something you should stay away
that's
from?
where it needs to be
This every
evaluated.
6 months.
What
But it-
interaction can be measured to, with Twitch it's viewership, with Discord it's active chatting. Like what is the engagement measurement that is reasonable for a platform to evaluate what they consider a partner.
I think Twitch needs to stop putting so much emphasis on CCV. I think that if you're going to reevaluate, I don't personally like. I get the idea of reevaluating the partner program every 6 months, but I think it should be on a. But here's the thing: if you want to have it on a case-to-case basis, there's no way to facilitate that. Like, partnership applications take long enough as it is. Imagine a review process, and imagine it being unbiased, and imagine it depending on which staff member you get. Not to mention, they may not know your channel. They may not watch your channel. They may not know that you have something going on. They may not know, like, if you're going down, like, a variety path. Like, there are streamers who I know that got partnered playing games that they can't play any longer due to motion sickness that would no longer be partnered under those requirements. But they're still making the same amount of, they're still making very much the same amount of money. So, like, do they deserve to have all of their partnership perks that they've earned taken away because they have a bad month or a bad couple of months when they worked their butt off to earn that? And I guess it depends on your definition of whether or not you think that Twitch partnership is a job or is it an achievement? And I think that's where the disconnect is.
That's a good
But
point.
My question is, what are they going to change it to? What would make more sense than what makes sense now?
Right.
What would be the transition there?
Because
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, no,
I know hundreds of people that wouldn't be partnered anymore. But there are only 50,000 partners out of millions of broadcasters that stream on Twitch every day. Why would you want to start suddenly, like, cutting more of that when it's still only 1% or less than 1% of broadcasters on the platform? Like, all I think that would do in the long term is, I think it's a lot of people who have been hitting I see it from a lot of people who have hit the average but are getting denied for one reason or another, who think, oh, these people are partnered, so I'm mad that these people are partnered because they have 50 average viewers and I have 200 and I'm getting denied, probably for, like, venting on Twitter about getting denied, for one thing, because, like, if you're the person that gets denied and then immediately goes on a tirade, you're probably not going to get partnered anytime soon because it's not a good look. But
some people don't do that. Some people don't acknowledge that as common sense. But okay.
Based on average viewers, I think that everything should be taken into account. How many unique chatters do you have in your stream? Are you having an engaged community? Because I totally understand it if they're like, oh, you have 50 average viewers, but you have 2 chatters, or you have, 200 average viewers, and, like, or, like, if you have 5 viewers and all of them are talking, I think that's very different. But I think it also depends on your revenue. Are you bringing in a substantial amount of revenue for Twitch to go, hey, we still think you're worth partnering? Because you lose, like, quite a bit. Like, even my ad CPM is higher as a partner. Like, and to know that if I had, like, a bad couple of months, like, put it this way, people stress enough about the grind to getting partnership, making them stress more about it after the fact is only going to make their content worse.
Well, what does
Agreed.
Twitch gain if they start departnering people?
They don't have that many partners. Like, it's 50,000 people out of millions of broadcasters. To my knowledge, there's nothing that Twitch gains from departnering people. The only thing that I could say that would take less revenue from them is if they started departnering people from premium contracts. That would be the only thing, is removing people's premium contracts. Because
so the average partnership contract, leave it alone,
be affected by it.
Got it.
But
yeah, I guess.
Your partner that has a premium contract maybe is affected by it. And to my knowledge, maybe partners under premium contract are held to that standard. Maybe they do have a chance to have their sub split renegotiated even down if they underperform. We don't know, because a lot of those premium contracts are under NDAs. So it's possible that a partner, that has a 70-30 split could have a bad 6 months, and Twitch goes, okay, we're renegotiating your split down to.
And if that's in the contract, that's how it goes.
Totally fair.
That's I think fair, but I don't know.
But see, in that case, there's a contract already stipulating that.
Right.
In the average partner's contract, they don't gain anything by saying, hey, you lose your check mark. If anything, they lost viewership because the person could just leave and be like, I don't want it anymore.
Between you and me, we didn't have to sign anything else. We just accepted a tiny agreement that was about this long.
Yep.
When we went from partner to affiliate, it was a couple terms and conditions and an accept button, and then we got it. and it was pretty much the same terms and conditions. Like, it wasn't anything that we didn't know that wasn't in our affiliate contract. There were a few changes to like add CPM and a couple other things, but realistically speaking, we didn't have to sign a separate contract. So
it's like an addition to the existing contract,
What you already
an
have,
addendum.
whereas
right?
if you got a premium contract, that would be another contract you would have to sign. So again,
here's
I get the idea.
here's
All this just
an-
reminds me that I can't wait for a new platform to get introduced to contend with
Right.
Twitch. I just
if
cannot wait.
YouTube can fix their UI,
That
it
right
would
there.
be such an
think
amazing
YouTube
place to
would be
go.
great, man.
Altair.tv. Everybody should be paying attention to it right now. I
Absolutely.
am not affiliated or anything, but it's one of the former UI guys who worked on Twitch way back in the day.
What's it?
Altair.tv. ALTAIR.tv. That dude is I from what I've seen with their mission statement and everything, they're gonna be making something great. So
I think
and if
if
they don't,
if
whatever. We need a contender. We need somebody else in the space to be doing better by creators.
if Twitch
Yep.
had like and Harris Heller had talked about this, Twitch 100% needs a discoverability feature where, you know, all the content you're getting these days is all at the tip of your finger, 30 seconds. You're just scrolling through TikToks and Instagrams. But if Twitch had like a way to browse through clips and then see a person's clips and then go to be able to look at their page and follow them, I think that would
Yeah,
be something great because
Have that near the end. They
Yeah.
had clips featured on the carousel.
they need
Bro,
that 'cause-
I was no. Please finish your thought, because then I want to tell you something.
because the problem with streaming as it being live content is that one, you have to have somebody wait through a 30-second ad, and then you pretty much have about 15 seconds to grab their attention before they're most likely going to leave. And so if you're not 100% active at all times, it's very hard to grow on Twitch. So I think with that clip feature, it would be great because they can see you at that prime moment and be like, you know what, this is somebody I would want to check out, and then give
Yeah.
that follow. But since the fact that Twitch doesn't have that, you have no choice but to grow on other platforms to really be able to succeed on Twitch.
Clip on Twitter, you post a clip on Instagram.
Exactly. And Rocket, you wanted to Rocket, you
Yeah, I
had a
just
comment on
want to add to that. So
Yes.
for the longest time, and going back to what Nearest was saying, having a competitor. One of the reasons why I loved Mixer so much was because it was a competitor. It was helping shift the gaming space in that people were starting to do things elsewhere because they knew someone was actually taking it serious right away. The website itself was creating different experiences for the average streaming session that weren't available elsewhere. There's a lot that's available to us now on Twitch because Mixer did it first. And I'm very happy about that kind of stuff. I love it. What I'm sad about is now that's gone. Now we don't have a competitor, a true competitor. And yours, I think you're right. That's healthy. That makes things better elsewhere. For the streaming site that you love, you don't want it to have the monopoly ever. You want it to be great. You want it to be big, but you want it to have competition because competition breeds innovation. For the longest time at Mixer, I was screaming and yelling about having a browsable clips section. Browsable clips, being able to showcase different partners of all different types, art, digital media, whatever, not necessarily purely gaming, music, whatever, being able to find them through a browsable clips section via keywords, via search, however they wanted to do it, being able to sort that search based on preferences, being able to see short snippets of like important parts of people's content is vital. One, to discoverability, and two, to longevity. If those two things are considered, and if that becomes something that's regular for a streaming website, then it starts to filter into other websites. I'm like, look, you can be on top of this. You could be at the front of the gate with this thing because no one's got it. This is what we need. Social team guy here, so not a lot of people took me seriously, but the point is that kind of innovation does not exist right now. It's gone. There's nothing out there that's innovating right now. We have basically hit a plateau. There's nothing that's changing in terms of new advancement. And that's why I like stuff like Mixer so much. At the time, it's gone now forever. Facebook maybe is they're messing with the old tech. I don't know if that's proprietary for Microsoft. I imagine it is. But there's no one out there leading the charge and changing things up. FTL changed streaming in the space down to the sub-second latency, which now we have low latency mode over here on Twitch. Love it. It's great. Thank you. Bits and stuff paved the way for Embers and Sparks over on Mixer. But then Sparks took it to another level where you could turn that into actual money. Like just watching free money out the door, right? Wasn't sustainable, didn't work out, but it was innovative. The ability to create your own streaming experience based off of creating your own dashboard below your stream. Nobody was doing that stuff. I could give my player 2 a controller on the screen that I programmed, so all they had to do was plug their USB cable in, grab their controller, and play the game with me in real time.
Mm-hmm.
No one's doing that stuff anymore. All that innovation is gone, so I'm sad about it. I want to see that kind of competition come back.
100%. I have another question here. Kareem, if you want to take this one. NOGI, would be good to hear from you too. So basically they're saying how there's certain places where you can apply for a partnership. For example, Advanced GG. They have 4 different types of requirements, and you just have to hit one. Do you guys think that Twitch should have something along those lines where maybe you're not hitting the Twitch requirements, but if you're doing something somewhere else, example, MRNIRIS, which you're doing now with obviously the infographics you're putting out and all the work you're doing, and then Kareem with all the partnerships you're getting outside, do you guys think they should have programs like that where if you're not hitting those Twitch requirements but hitting something else, that you should be able to apply for partnership? And what do you think those kind of requirements should look like, or what you would like for it to look like?
I see that it goes a lot towards, so this goes all the way back to applying for partner as established. There's no way, like their establishment, when you're applying, there's no way to add extra things like pictures or anything like that so you can know that you're sponsored by all of this stuff. They have to go to your channel and check, but when they go to your channel and they don't see all the metrics and all the numbers don't line up, they automatically hit you with the deny. You know, it just comes that way. But I would like for that to be an option. I think that would put a lot of smiles on up and coming streamers' faces, give them hope, and show them that you can open doors that are close to you that you're knocking outside of. I still got to think about that a little bit more, so I'm going to pass the ball to NOGI real quick.
You're speaking just a Mixer though, right? Like the
Yes.
transition, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm curious as far as your ability to do what you've done. What, and going back to what we were talking about earlier, just a little bit of knowing your worth versus entitlement. You know, like what you deserve as the amount of work you're putting in. What in your mind was the point where you were like, or what were the what were the things that you were able to substantiate and be like, no, I know I am worth this partnership, and I'm gonna go tap Logitech, and I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna go do, like, what was that like for you? I'm just curious personally.
For me, I got a DM from Zombie Kills, who's a great friend, awesome content creator. She told me, hey, I just got this sponsorship with Logitech. They're looking at new individuals. I shot your name out. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm not partnered. I was like, but let me shoot your shot. So what I did was I tracked down the emails and the Twitters of people who ran the the social media managers of Logitech, and I DM'd them and I told them that, like, hey, I gave them the rundown. I gave them my metrics of what I've had before. I basically told them I was just a good human being, and I was like, I would love to help your team grow in the best way I can moving forward, and prevent you guys with professionalism, quality, and understanding, and a crazy work ethic. Because you guys, like, I stream 9 hours a day. I'm pushing it. I might not always be on time, but I kill those 9 hours. But and they took a chance with me, so I'm just like, I'm happy that they took a chance with me. And you guys can do that. Like, you guys can shoot. Like, don't be afraid. Like, if your email never gets opened or you don't hear anything back, that's great. You should be pushing 5 out, 10, 20 a week. You should, because there's nobody on this planet that can tell you that your content is worth something, because you know how much work you put into it, and you know how much you've committed to the grind and to the craft of your stream and your community. So if you guys want something and you want to do something, shoot them emails, show your work ethic, shoot them Twitter DMs, be polite, and the number one rule: don't be a fucking dick.
Right.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
Back to the original question.
I'm
though,
out.
I think that would be. I mean, it's up to each individual, business or whatever to do what they want or whatever metric they feel is equal to who they want to be affiliated with. But I would love to see something like that personally.
Right.
I remember when I was going to apply for a GCX badge to go, a content creator badge. It was either like 10,000 Twitch followers or 10,000 YouTube followers, and I was like, I have 10,000 Twitter, I have 10,000 Insta, I got 50,000 on the website, but there's no option for that. Like, so luckily I tweeted, and both T-Rex and Broman were like, hey, shoot your shot, bro. Just,
Yeah,
just
and they're
send it
super
in.
great about that.
And I had no idea that T-Rex had actually knew how long I've been creating content. That was cool and validating. But my point is that like there's so much, and I know the conversation tonight is about streaming. The issue is business right now in the video game market is all about video, because video is you can see how many eyes are on it. You can monetize that shit. Even though I have metrics around every single bit of content I create on every single fucking channel I put it out on, it doesn't matter because nobody's looking for static content right now.
Right.
So I would love to see not only just a shift in the industry, but that shift as well as far as partnership requirements that aren't as limiting to just video requirements, because there are a myriad of creators out there who are doing things outside of video, like myself, but are supplementing their content with video. So if that answers that at all, I hope.
No,
That
definitely.
was very
makes a lot
great,
of
man.
sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's looking for content that they can consume in a video form constantly, especially with this pandemic going on, and especially with people, I think we've noticed from the stats that like Streamlabs and other places have put out that the hours watched for streams have gone up tremendously since COVID-19 has started. And I mean, obviously that's probably not the case for static content, right? Because it's not something that you're actively consuming when you're bored,
Right.
or when you're out of work. Like, people watch streams because they need something to do. But
when I first came down here to Atlanta, because I'm listening to all of your points, and I'm listening to everything that you guys are saying, and because I know that I talk a lot, so I usually like give this like portion where I'm dead silent and it looks like I'm not listening. But everything that you guys are saying is 100% correct, because during when I first came down to Atlanta, I was looking for work, and I was looking for work in most of my expertise, which is through streaming. I've learned communication skills, I've learned advertising, I've learned marketing, and that's something that I holistically put on my resume because I have evidence to show that I'm good at those things. So one of the companies that I applied for had also expressed the exact same thing. In terms of right now, video quality and the consumption of video quality is on the all-time rise because of how just naturally how the generation is. It's the same exact thing as why face-to-face interaction and face-to-face conversation is more impactful than a video call. Someone would much rather like to look you in the eye and get the feel of characteristics that you have. And it's just something that's something that's incredibly important. It's something that's incredibly important. I will, however, say that currently, right now, I am preoccupied. Like my focus is gone. I'm watching Cobb One Art because he just tweeted something saying that you gotta Z what I'm drawing, and I go to his channel and he's fucking drawing Vegeta. So I gotta watch that, So, but yeah, I'm listening. You guys are 100% spot on with everything that you're saying.
Okay. I don't want to hold everybody here for long, so I do want to wrap it up here. One last question, and then we'll kind of go around the room. with the question, with the shout out, and again, just say who you are, what you do, where we can find you, any big projects, answer the question, and then your shout out. I do want to thank you all for the conversation. It's very, being a Twitch streamer right now, or being a streamer in general, is a very difficult job to do. Everybody kind of has their preferences of what they want to do, and my one thing I always say to people is that during the good times and during the bad times, you just always want to make sure that you remember the sole reason why you wanted to do this in the first place, to get that purity out, and not to get so consumed by numbers, because numbers, the society we live in now, and it's not just Twitch, this is Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, it's all driven by numbers, and that's how people feel validated, by how many likes they get and how many views and stuff like that. But that really doesn't define you as a person, and it doesn't define you for your content. You know your worth, and the people that do come in to watch you, they're there because they know your worth also. So don't feel discouraged at all. But I want to thank you guys all. Appreciate you. We're going to go around and answer the question again, do a little call out here.
Yeah.
So my shout out for this week is going to go to my wife. She's been super amazing and super supportive. And when you're in this kind of industry, it's always good to have that one person that kind of has your back and can motivate you and support you and really can understand. And she's been so amazing and great throughout this whole thing of me, making my schedule with work and then doing this on the side. She's been super patient. So having somebody like that is definitely amazing and great. So I really want to say I appreciate her. The question would be, or really the piece of advice I would say that you guys would give to either, affiliate, a partner, streamer, content creators, just in general, just some advice you'd want to give out to them and go from there. And then again, whoever you want to shout out. Rocket, we'll start with you.
Well, piece of advice I would say, just for the individual as a streamer, enjoy what you do, but know what it is you want to accomplish with what you're doing. If you're here just for fun, don't sweat the small stuff. Numbers, don't worry about it. If you're here to make a living out of it, you need to take certain things into account. You need to think about it strategically. You need to make choices. However, again, don't sweat it too much. Sweat it the right amount. What I'm saying is those things matter if you want to make a real effective go at it. You do need to curate your content. You need to focus on things. You need to make informed decisions based around your content, and then create that content in a way that's going to grow your channel. If you're here for the funsies, have fun, enjoy yourself, play what you love, do what you want to do. If you're just starting out, pick something that you already enjoy and build a community around that. While doing either of those things, you can shift from one to the other. If you find that it's not important to you to do one thing, do what's important to you and make an informed decision. The most important thing is make an informed decision. Ask people, talk to friends, reach out in Discords, talk to people like NOGI, talk to people like MARU. They're going to give you insight on things that are important as to what it is you want to do with what you're doing in your streaming career. I would say overall, do have fun, but keep in mind your end goal. If you're here just to enjoy yourself, don't sweat it. Enjoy yourself. Make a goal of it. Take your time. Shout out for me is gonna be, okay, there's someone who I know who's been extremely kind to me from the very beginning of my viewership goal stretch here on Twitch, from the transition from Mixer to Twitch. It's Robotic Addie. I'd encourage you guys to spend some time with her.
Amazing person.
She's outstanding. She's been in my stream pretty much every single morning, having fun, chiming in, playing games with me, doing whatever, just being a wonderful human. She's pushing for partnership and she's going to get it. I'd encourage you to follow her, be there when she does it, and celebrate with her. Most importantly, celebrate each other. Take time to make other people smile, because you could be the best part of their day just because you were nice to them. Think about someone having a garbage day, right? Just a horrible day. No one's been nice to them, but you make them smile. You're officially the one person that made him smile that one day, and maybe you turned it around for him. You never know what's going on in other people's lives, so take time. You can find me Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually wrap it up after about 6 or 7 hours, and we have fun, play a lot of Destiny, always open lobbies, probably some Fall Guys tomorrow with BROFISH, I think. We're going to have fun. I'm excited
I'm gonna get up
about it.
early just for you.
It's going to be good. I can't wait. Thank you guys for having me. I had a wonderful time, wonderful conversation, and happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you, Rocket. Thank you so much. Brofish?
So this is awkward. I'm gonna start by actually doubling down because RB stole who I was gonna shout out. So I'm just gonna put it out there, double down right on Robotic Addy because the whole theme of this is partnership versus affiliate and all of that. And Addy is somebody who's applied for partnership, and I haven't come across anyone like it's just so she's just so wholesome and so loved by the Destiny community. And you can definitely tell that, again, speaking on not just numbers but community outreach and just being involved in the community as qualification for partnership, like, she is bang on there. She is a voice in the community. People know her as this positive force, and I think that she deserves it so much. And so I want to send all of my good vibes to her as well. And as far as advice, I think a lot of it is very similar to what ROCKETBEAR said. Like, it's okay to have different priorities, whether or not you're doing this for a full-time job or you're doing it for fun. I think the important thing is to never lose sight, regardless of why you start and how you start, is to never lose sight of why you started. Like, I think the biggest thing for me in the 4.5 years I've been streaming is never lose sight of the fact that, for me, I started streaming to make friends playing Destiny. And in the time that I've been here, that hasn't really changed all that much. So yes, it's turned into a full-time job for me. Yes, it's turned into my sole income, but it really never changed from just wanting to play video games with buds and have a good time. And so, I think it's just find something that you're passionate about, find a game that you love, and whether you choose to continue it as a hobby or whether or not you continue to go towards it as a career, the rest will follow, as long as you're happy and the content that you're putting out is good. So, and for those of you who want to watch me, you can find me Monday through Fridays, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays for bonus, on twitch.tv/brofishtv. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, guys. It's great to be back, and it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, Brofish. Appreciate you. Mr. Niris, if you want to take it over.
I've been trying to think of this shout out all day. And you're gonna make me do one. So I'm gonna be a little bit, I don't know if you want to call it selfish in mine, but I want to shout out Aaron Zabarin, who helped create the version 2.0 of my bot, because without that bot, my shit would not be anywhere near in the amount of discords that it is in, or hitting the amount of communities that it does, or anything. So that dude really just he just said, hey, can I help you? No, didn't want anything, didn't nothing, and just wanted to help the community the same way I do. And I thank him forever for that. So shout out to my guy who helped create a bot that is now in 4,000 plus servers on Discord. So
nice.
Thank you, Aaron, for that. And the advice that I could give to anybody is just kind of echoes what ROCKETBEAR said: is just enjoy yourself. If you're getting into it because you have intentions, have a plan. But if you're not and you're just gaming and you're going to be gaming and you just want to hit the live button, just enjoy yourself and make sure you enjoy yourself. And that's about all the advice that I can give. And just make sure you're good. Just make sure you're good. Because if you're not good, don't hit them. Don't. Just don't. It's going to be a wild time. And you won't get much out of it. But if you are, go ahead and just do it and keep doing it and you might figure out your own way along the way, like I have. You know, sometimes you start out not having a plan, and you just consistency kills competition. And if you can consistently do something and figure out your way along that way that you're doing it consistently, something might work out for you. So try it, see what happens, you know. And thank you,
Absolutely.
boys, for having me on again. Shout out to you guys for thinking of me the last minute here, get me on here. I appreciate y'all. So
Appreciate you.
always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Always a
always.
pleasure.
And appreciate you again. I said it before, but I appreciate you coming in with last minute with the clutch save there.
My pleasure, my guys. Nearest.tv if you're looking for literally anything. All the infographics are there. Ways to follow on Twitter, Insta, Spotify, anime, anything. Just nearest.tv, NIRIS.tv. Thank you guys again.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Lovely meeting all of you as well here.
Thank you.
Mr. Kareem
Likewise, sir.
Cheese.
Oh, shit. You know how I do this. Hold on. Standing at 5'10" tall.
Oh my god.
It's the man, the myth,
You said 5
the
foot 10?
legend, Kareem Cheese. Hold on. All right, guys. I want to shout out Miss Cheese. I love you. You're my rock. You take care of me. You do anything for me. You've helped me so much along the way. You are so important in my life, and none of this would be possible without you. So I appreciate you, and I love you so much. Thank you.
My man.
My advice to give, always ask yourself, why not me? Because you are capable of doing anything you want. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are passionate. You are respectful. You are kind. You are cared for, and you fucking matter. And to sum it all up, I like to do these things quick. I'm sorry. But you guys can follow me at twitch.tv/KareemCheese. I'm live every day, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rocket Bear. Also, my Instagram and Twitter, KareemCheeseGG. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Maru. Thank you so much, Nogi, for bringing me on the show again. Thank you so much, Rocket Bear. Thank you so much, Brofish, NIRIS. It's been a great time, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you, dude. And last but not least, Prince Vegeta.
Is he clown? I'll be trying to sound like Vegeta when I'm by myself.
You just sound like
I
an
felt
old
it.
man.
I felt it. I felt it.
You felt it? I
Yeah,
need to.
the scouter was going off about your power level there. You know?
I gotta go. I have one.
Goku's the best character. Don't at me.
Ooh.
Oh God! No, now we're
You
gonna
know
go for
it.
another
No,
hour.
not right
now we gotta go
now.
for another hour,
Yeah,
chat.
seriously.
Here we
Oh
go.
man.
Rocket, you know what you just done.
Oh no. Oh.
He left. He left. He left. He left. He said, "Fuck it."
I love Nagi so much. I'm sorry.
You just made him instant transmission out of here.
So that is the power of Ultra Instinct. Damn it. Damn
Don't you ever.
it.
Don't you ever doubt my power. No. So my shout. Are you okay?
He's fucking laughing too much.
I broke Brofish. We broke Brofish. So, my shout out today, actually goes to G1 because today was a experience that I had with, I actually am Zod, but you can't tell.
I knew that.
But just know there's hair somewhere. Anyway, so my shout out is going towards G1 because today was an experience that was absolutely inspirational, meaningful, and holistically genuine to me that I don't think I've ever experienced in a professional setting where there was more emotion felt towards the players, more felt towards the people involved rather than the business. And it's to the point where even when I go to work, because with Starbucks, you have a tendency of meeting new bosses, you have a tendency of meeting new coworkers consistently. Rotation in the field is common. And one thing that I always make sure to tell any boss that I meet, the first day I meet them is, it's the exact same group of words. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is, Cliff. I'm a shift supervisor here. I'm going to be your shift supervisor. I show up on time, I bust my ass, and I don't give a fuck about a customer. I care more about my workers because my workers show up on time. I care more about the people behind this counter than I do the people in front of the counter, because the people in front of the counter are here for a specific reason. They want what they want, and I respect that. As individuals, of course, I respect and appreciate all people, but as customers, it's a different narrative. And they don't care about the people behind the counters because they want what they want. I'm literally, throughout this entire conversation, I'm pulling off dead skin off of my hand. I'm not sure if you guys can see that discoloration right about there, right about that area, right? I'm pulling off dead skin because I went through a severe burn from a customer throwing coffee on me. So respecting the people that are in the field with you to push the narrative, to push the goal, is something that I hold very dear to my heart. And today I experienced that I made a right choice, signing to G1. So shout out to G1, shout out to Kenny, who's actually streaming right now. So
We going to Kenny. We going to Kenny.
I'm going to Kenny. No, but shout out to G1. I don't think I made a mistake here in signing to this organization. We got some big things coming, big things planned. I'm excited.
You sound happy about it, dude. You sound
I'm
happy.
happy for you,
I'm
Nogi.
excited for you.
I'm happy for you, bro.
That's definitely something that I, coming from someone that, because I remember my SOAR RC. My SOAR RC is still up on my YouTube channel. And it shows not only my dedication to content creation, my variety experience in content creation. I've done countless podcasts. I've been on countless types of content collaborations with many people. I've done my own content, y'all guys already know, the self-taught graphic artist, self-taught video editor, self-taught audio engineer. I'm in a goddamn music video. A lot of people don't know that. Like, I'm in an actual.
I watched it.
You watched
I didn't know that.
I watched it.
Why can't I watch it?
I watched it.
Why are you
Fire.
not showing me this stuff?
I'll get it. I'm getting it. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing that I've done thus far in terms of content, in terms of making a choice for the business. Signing to G1 was a really good idea. It's a really good concept. Yeah, I'm posting.
Awesome.
All right, some jazz.
All right, again, so everybody's gonna watch this music video now. That's it. Nogi, you're gonna quit streaming and just be a music video artist, right?
I mean, probably.
Make a play.
What's crazy is that, like, the concept of the artist, because he's a rapper, he's a good friend of mine. The concept of the video was like, listen, I want you to literally play yourself. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you have to motivate me through the entire video. I'm like, got it. I literally played myself. It was hilarious.
Good, dude. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited.
Check it out. Let's go.
But yeah, so I just want to thank you all again. Appreciate you being on the show. Chat, if you're not following these amazing creators, give them a follow. Follow them on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, everything they do. Go support. Anybody watching this video on YouTube, appreciate you guys killing it with the views, killing it with basically putting the word out on the filler and everything we do here. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you listening in. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, all those good podcast stuff.